Hello there, welcome to our channel. It is in New Zealand, it is Christmas Day. It's getting towards 7:15 at night. We've had a lovely Christmas 2020. We've spent it with our daughter and our grandchildren, and we've had some really nice times, some food, some drinks. It's been really a big contrast to what it used to be like being Jehovah's Witnesses. And if Christmas Day happened to be on a Sunday, you would be going to a meeting. If Christmas Day happened to be on a Saturday, you'd have to go out in field service, or that would be your normal routine. And how did you feel about that, dear, when we were witnesses back then?
Well, in some respects, things haven't changed. Like, we would spend it with family anyway, but it just has a different feel about it now because the reason for doing it or being with family has changed. It's altered. You don't have another thought in mind. You don't have to come out and witness to your family. You can just be normal and act like a normal person without having an ulterior motive.
Yeah, because there was always a subtext, wasn't there, of, you had to be putting on a good witness and putting on a good act, as it were. Couldn't really be yourself. But I also remember us talking towards the later years. We've been out for 6 years now, but I remember us talking and thinking to ourselves, we don't really want to go and disturb people when they're having good family time. It's busy lives that people have. They want to really enjoy the time that they have with their family. And here we are turning up on their doorstep, bugging them. You just felt like a heel. You felt uncomfortable, at least I did. How did you feel about that?
Pretty much the same. I know toward the end of us being in, a lot of people, witnesses, stopped going out on the Christmas day because they didn't want to intrude. They knew they wouldn't get anywhere anyway. They're talking with people who had family at home, so you wouldn't get a hearing here. So a lot of times you just didn't go out on the Christmas day anyway.
Now we look at it too, we've been invited into people's homes the last few years, and you see how normal people behave on a Christmas Day, and it's not what Watchtower portrays it to be. Watchtower makes it a big thing about religion and false worship and, all this demonistic practices that are around it. So they demonize the whole thing. The average person doesn't give a hoot about religion at Christmas. It's really just a fun time to get together with family, to be generous to one another, to give gifts, even if they're minor little gifts of low value. The thought is what counts, and the whole feeling of being together as a family and sharing with one another and giving and just being an expression of love for one another. And that's what we've seen with the families that we've been privileged to be invited into their homes and seen how normal people behave. And it's been an eye-opener for us. Really major difference from what Watchtower portrays.
Particularly with families, not just around Christmas, but it's any time of the year. They have a lot more love, natural love in families than witnesses do, because witnesses are trying to maybe put on airs or do their best. They're not allowed to slip up, not allowed to do anything wrong. So everyone's on the lookout, waiting for them to slip up.
You're all on edge.
Yeah, families in the world are so much more relaxed. They have a lot more love in their family than I've ever seen amongst witness families.
So that's what we've found with Christmas. I mean, 2020 has been a tough year for most people in the world with the COVID pandemic, with lockdowns. We think of our friends in the UK. Give a shout out to Mark and Cora and the other activists that we know in the UK. Keep up the good work there, folks. Also, a shout out to our friends in Germany. Hi there to our friends there, also in the USA. Hi, Mike and Kim.
Thank you for your card. We did get that the
Yes,
other
we got
day.
your card. Thanks very much. And also a shout out to Lloyd and his family in Croatia. I think that all around the world, the internet is bringing people together and it's focusing attention. We've been watching these videos recently of the annual report for the witnesses, and I can pick holes in quite a lot of things on there, as Lloyd has and others have done. There is a decrease in many countries, but I think that decrease is heavily masked by the figures. It's like a lot of statistics. You only can reference the data to certain parameters, and Watchtower is very sneaky with how they shift the goalposts all the time. So now the fact that anybody can just do 15 minutes of preaching, whether that's writing a letter that someone will never respond to or some other nebulous method, they can count them as active when they've only put in 15 minutes. And I know that a lot of secretaries will just put people down as putting in 15 minutes, even if they don't even put a report in. And that keeps the numbers up. But what they are not doing is they're not reflecting any growth in respect of the normal population growth of the world. So like I noticed in their figures for New Zealand, they list the population as 4.8 million. It's actually 5 million. Now, that may not be a big deal, a couple of 100,000 people, what's the big deal? Well, the thing is, they make a big thing about their percentage increases. And if their percentage increase is less than what the population increases in the country, obviously they're going backwards because they're not growing at enough to keep ahead of the normal population growth. So they're actually going backwards. And when you look at the baptism figures as well, you see a whole heap of people get baptized, but their numbers go down. So that means that despite the ones being baptized, there are a greater number that are leaving. And we've certainly met a lot of people in the last few years who have left, and we know that there are an awful lot of people who are just staying in because of family, their PMOs. So, we thought we'd give this little video just an opportunity to say hi to everybody out there, to thank everybody for their support of our channel during the year. We've had a lot of really good comments on our channel. We haven't put a lot of content up this year, but we will be doing a bit more in the next few months as we get out on our motorbikes and do a bit of motorcycle camping around New Zealand. So we'll be sure to post up some videos of that. And we'll also be visiting some very nice parts of the country, so look out for some very nice scenery. I think we'd just like to thank you all once again for watching our channel. Your comments are most welcome. Please subscribe. Share our videos around if you think they'd be helpful to anybody that's trying to make sense of the JW cult, and especially those that are wanting to get out. We can certainly offer them a lot of support there. And we'd also like to mention that there are communities like the XJW community on Reddit that has been hugely helpful to us and to thousands, in fact, tens of thousands of people. When we first started looking at Reddit back 6 years ago, there were less than 4,000 subscribers there or members on that forum. They are now close on 58,000. So huge growth, at least something's growing. So thank you for your support over the year. We'd like to wish you all a very happy holiday season, a great start to 2021. Let's hope that it is far better than 2020 has been. Wish you all the very best. Bye from New Zealand.
Ciao.